earlier about the symbolism, and I know there's probably been a lot of talk about symbolism from the film. I'll look at it from the screenplay perspective. The Lighthouse, of course, is symbolism. Obviously, Prometheus stealing light from the gods. Young wants the light, but he can't have it, and then he's punished for it. The light could represent enlightenment that is so powerful that it leads to madness. I mean, that's one of the themes of this screenplay, is knowing too much about yourself, that you have to face the demons in the corners of yourself that have been walled off, that you've been protecting this whole time. Identity, old and young, most likely represent two halves of the same identity. In fact, when I was first reading the screenplay, and I hadn't seen this film, I'd missed it. I'd been meaning to watch it for years. When I first started reading the screenplay, I was convinced that this was just the same person. Maybe they were dead, purgatory, or one was about to die and the younger person came back to visit them. I just knew, and obviously that's the easy route, and why would they do that? They wouldn't do that. But that's how I was reading the screenplay, under the assumption that old and young were the same person. I'm guessing that's exactly how they wanted the viewer to watch this film and experience it, thinking suspiciously the whole time, this is the same person. If you're thinking that and you're looking at everything through that lens, it distracts you as a reader and a viewer from what's really going on. It's sort of like sleight of hand. But we can safely say that old and young represent the past and the future, the id and the ego, and they fight and then they're affectionate with each other. It's so weird, and it makes you feel uncomfortable, and you just like, oh no, something bad's going to happen. The sea is a part of symbolism. It conspires against them. It isolates them. It represents chaos and fate and power, things that you can't control, which is pretty much life. That angry, evil seagull represents probably young having to face his own issues, and when he destroys the seagull is the tipping point. It's the second act split when he starts to fall into madness. Maybe he didn't. And the mermaid and the tentacle, and I had to think hard about this one. Obviously, the mermaid represents desire, but I think more importantly, it represents the desire to escape the island, yes, but also to escape yourself, to escape the guilt of the things that you did and how you're tormenting yourself. Maybe rightfully so, but that's the escape. And the tentacle represents entanglement and entrapment, and you're not going anywhere. And here is how the words look on the screen. And that is The Lighthouse by Robert and Max Eggers. And the literary document here that the Eggers brothers put together is its own piece of madness. It descends into the madness of skipped lines and missing parentheticals and pages of one word repeated over and over again, sentences of laughter. It's its own madness. And they accomplish the goal of giving us something with the flavor of Poe, but with the signature Eggers historical texture and altered language. This screenplay is a sea shanty folklore. It's a psychosexual power play. And it is certainly a mermaid movie that I won't be telling my daughter about.